Hello everyone, this is Colton here. I'm making this video not only as a way for everyone to see the differences between Season 3 and Season 4, but also as a way for former ML players and new signees to understand what we do differently here at ITL compared to other leagues. So the first thing you should see here on the screen is our commissioners list. We have me as the founder. I basically just made this whole thing happen. This was my idea in the beginning. We have Tsunami, who is the current owner of the league and the head commissioner. He will make final decisions and changes throughout the season. Other commissioners, we have me, Kaolin, and Untitled. They just have say in some important things. Head of staffing is Ryan. Ryan will schedule the staff, streamers, referees for matches. Treasurer, Osa. Osa will be handling all of the financial aspects of Season 4, including how staff is paid, how Robux gets distributed into the group, and he will be generally making all of the financial decisions. And then head of moderation for the Discord server, once again, Ryan. This disclaimer may seem a bit outdated currently, as Minigames League is no longer playing games, but in the scenario that the league does come back during ITL Season 4, any players who choose to go there will have to void their contracts here. This is new to the handbook. This disclaimer was basically added just to inform people that we will not be involved with owning or operations of any third-party leagues. I won't name any in specific, but any league that does not have ITL's official name on it, we have no say over and cannot enforce what happens in there. Therefore, if you do choose to join any third-party leagues, if you get scammed, if the game times are during ITL games, or any other problems that arise, we cannot help you out because we have no say in the league. This was added to the handbook due to the fact that people were just simply saying, "Oh yeah, our mic is broken. Oh yeah, I can't do that right now." Because that was a very easy way to bypass our elo boosting systems or alting systems, and therefore it is now in the handbook as a requirement that you obey any of our requests for information or verification, because that information may be, important to how we run the league, and without this in the system, without this in the handbook, we are not allowed to ask for any of this information. So it is there, it is required, and it is not bypassable. There is no specific elo boosting system, because I feel like if we were to add one, people would easily be able to bypass it. And so there is no specific system as to what we do to check you. You just have to obey our rules. On top of that, it is our league's promise from the bottom of our hearts that this information will not be sent anywhere or used against you. The only thing it is used for is to maintain our integrity. Now that the disclaimers of the handbook have been talked about, let's jump into the actual league itself. 1.1, player signing. A player can sign a contract for a minimum of 4 weeks and a maximum of 20 weeks. A contract can only be an even number of weeks. This rule is in place to give commissioners at least 1 week off at a time. The team switching deadline for each week is at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday. All players must be in the Discord server and the Roblox group to sign a contract. Leaving either of these will void your contract and put you under a blacklist for a season. All rosters must obey the StarCup rules, which I will go over in just a second. This is new for Season 4. We haven't done this in the past, but we have decided to make this a rule for Season 4. All team owners must sign players using the ITL contract format and must DM filled out contracts to Tsunami, our head commissioner, on Discord. I will leave the contract format link in the description of this YouTube video. All you have to do is make a copy of your own and then fill in the blanks with your signee's information. 1.2, voiding contracts. A contract can be voided one of two ways: a player buyout or a trade. A player buyout may be requested by a player, but it must be approved by their team owner. A team owner can also simply just make the buyout occur on their own, But if a player would like to leave a team, then their contract must be voided via approval of their owner because they did sign a contract to the team. 1.3 buyout prices. These have been updated for Season 4. Our short-term contract buyouts have gotten more expensive, and our long-term contract buyouts have gotten cheaper. You can simply just see them by watching the video, but 4 through 8 week contracts are the shorts. They are $500 each. 10 through 14 are the mediums. They are $750 each. And 16 through 20 are the long terms. They are $1,000 each. 1.4 trading system. The trading system is not used often, but it is an option for owners who are on a cheap budget and would still like to bring in new players. ITL participants will abide by a star ranking system, rating players on a scale of 1 to 5. Players must be within 1 star of each other to be traded. A trade must be approved by commissioners and both of the team owners involved in the trade. A trade is basically just giving one player in exchange for another player, no money involved. 1.5 star cap. Each team may sign a roster of no more than 18 stars. This means you can sign 18, but no number above that. A player's star rating at the time of being signed is carried along to the extent of their contract, which means if a team increases to above 8 stars while their players are under contract, it will not matter until the contract expires. Once a player's contract expires, if their rating raises or lowers, it is the responsibility of the team owners to ensure that the roster is still below 18 stars. Exceptions of this rule: a team owner who plays will count as a 2-star player and will never gain or lose stars while owning a team. An unrated player who is anyone who is not on the star cap archive will count as a 3-star player. Listed in the screenshot above are the 2 divisions for Season 4. Divisions are really only used for regular season games, as you must play each team in your division once before the playoffs occur. This policy is fairly new. The 3-strike policy: commissioners have the right to deny the signing of any player for whatever reason they believe to be valid. If an instance occurs that an alternate account does get signed to an ITL team or an account is ELO boosting, strike 1 will be placed upon the team's owner. Along with this strike, an 800 Robux fine will be given to the offending owner for each strike that they receive. All of these fines for strikes must be paid before the end of the season, or the owner will lose their ownership. If 3 strikes are reached during a season, the team will be disbanded immediately and given to someone else who is currently signed to the team. 1.8 forced signing. Both team owners and players must agree to their contract and its guidelines. If an owner signs a player against their will, a strike will be distributed to the owner along with the 800 Robux fine that comes with it, as we just covered the 3-strike system. If you have been signed improperly, please contact a commissioner with valid proof, and the situation will be handled. 1.9 general managers. A general manager is a team owner who does not play in games. This person will handle all signings involving the team and may attend any games that the team plays in, but they cannot play in any. This person cannot switch out of a GM role into a player role unless an open spot is available on the team. A GM will not be tolerated to switch out of their GM role once the playoffs begin or the final signing deadline occurs. A person may only own one team at a time, even if they choose to GM. This rule is in place to avoid purposely weakening the league's competition. Now that we have looked over all of the signing guidelines, let's take a look into more of the game-related systems. Section 2.1, Game Location. All Season 4 ITL games will be held in custom minigames. No links will be provided to players or owners. All players must be whitelisted to attend their games. If an issue occurs with you being whitelisted, then you must figure out a way to get invited to the private server, or else you will not play. 2.2 Scheduling Guidelines. Every Sunday, once all matches have concluded, a rough draft schedule for the next week will be released. The season will be 8 weeks long, consisting of 4 regular weeks and 4 playoff weeks. During the regular season, each team will play 4 games, consisting of 2 home and 2 away games. After these 4 regular season games have been completed, the total points of each team will be added up, and this will place each team into their seed for playoffs. Playoff games are double elimination. Games will be held on both Saturdays and Sundays. During the playoffs, a team may be required to play multiple games a day and up to 3 a weekend. All game times are final. This is new for the season. We now have no league to schedule around, and so games are going to be held at either 1 p.m. or 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. No other times will be provided. It is an owner's responsibility to sign players able to participate in games at these times consistently. As a player, if you cannot show up at 1 or 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, you should not sign to an ITL team because games will not be held at any other times. Section 2.3, Servers. All users will be whitelisted prior to the match starting. No links will be sent out. I need to emphasize that there will be no links provided. Home team of the game will set the server location. After set 1, it will be switched to the server location of the away team. Set 3, back to the home team server. That's why it's a home game, because they will receive 2 of the 3 sets on their own servers. If a player prematurely joins the server, meaning if it is not your team's server, you should not be joining until the other team has. If you do so, you will receive a warning, a verbal warning. If caught again, you will receive a penalty, a 2-round sit-out, and a third time will result in a suspension from the match, meaning you will not be able to play the rest of the match. 2.4, Match Point System. This is the exact system that Mini Leagues uses. There is no change here. Winning a set will award your team 1 playoff point. Winning the first 2 sets will reward your team 3 points. The referee of each game is tasked with choosing an MVP of the match based on multiple categories. The team that the MVP belongs to will receive an extra 0.5 playoff point, meaning you can earn up to 3.5 playoff points per week. These playoff points are how you will be placed into the bracket, and in playoffs, the higher seed will be the home team, so you really want to fight for these playoff points. Section 2.5, In-game sets. This system is also the exact same as Mini Leagues with no changes at all. Matches will consist of 3 sets with a game point of 7. You must win by 2 to win the set. If that is not met, the game point will become 8 with no win by 2. Meaning, in a 6-6 game, 3 more points will be played. First to 2 of that will win the whole set. If a team wins the first 2 sets, the third set will not be played, and the team will be rewarded with winning 3 sets. ITL has 2 types of penalties, a major penalty and a minor penalty. A major penalty will result in a suspension from the match and a fine. This fine must be paid before you can play any other ITL matches. A minor penalty will result in a player sitting out for 2 rounds. If a team commits a penalty, meaning someone doesn't reset in time or 6 people spawn in, the owner or captain will select who does the 2-round sit-out. Dress code. We prefer to be sort of strict with our dress code just to avoid any potential biases involving what players are wearing in games. Only blocky R6 avatars are permitted, which means no Roblox 2.0, no 1.5, no Arthro, none of that. In addition, you may not wear any accessories that can be deemed distracting by referees or opposing teams. Official ITL jerseys are not required for all players, but you must wear colors representing both the game location and your team colors. Black is home, white is away. Identical display names and in-game items deemed a distraction with the referee's discretion are not permitted. These include pets, flames, and boomboxes. As previously stated, a conduct infraction will result in a major penalty. Conduct penalties are at the referee's discretion. A conduct infraction can be given for toxicity, leaking personal info while in match, or anything else a referee deems to be inappropriate for gameplay. Minor penalties are less severe and also more common than major penalties. A minor penalty is issued when a player is causing a slight disruption to match play. These include lagging, resetting during the match, team killing on purpose, trolling, etc. A minor penalty will result in a player being sat out for 2 rounds of the match. Once a team has won a round, the remaining players must reset within 5 seconds before the bomb hits 4, or else a minor penalty will be given to the team. 3.5, Match play. A minimum of 3 players per team are required to start a match. A team will be given 5 extra minutes past game time to field a team of 3. If they fail to do so, a forfeit will be issued. Going under this threshold will forfeit the match. A max of 5 players may play once per team. Going over the threshold will result in a minor penalty. A player going over this threshold has 10 seconds to remove themselves from the match to avoid the 2-round sit-out before the first bomb explodes. An owner of the team can choose to punish or sit out their player at any time for any reason that they choose. The 3 penalty system. If any member collects 3 minor infractions, these do not include lag warnings as they cannot be controlled, during one game, they will be disqualified from the match. If a team collects 3, the owner will choose who gets disqualified. Disqualified equals kicked out of the server completely. This rule was added middle of Season 3 to avoid teams purposely causing issues with referees. Spectators. Only signed players and general managers, as well as ITL staff, are eligible to be present in the server during matches. A ticket can be bought to allow admission for the game it has been bought for 50 Robux. Payment policy. All Robux will be distributed through the official ITL group. One must be in the group for at least 2 weeks to be paid. This is a Robux rule, not a league rule. The league will only pay the account that is actively played in the league. No alternate accounts or friends will be paid. Some exceptions can be made. Example, you get terminated before payouts can occur. Our holding period. If you are ineligible to claim your Robux, for example, you have recently joined the Robux group, you will be given a month of holding period. During this month, you should be able to work out something in order to become eligible for your payment. If you are still unable to claim the Robux after your 1 month period, you will lose all availability of claiming that Robux unless an unusual exception has to be made, such as you get terminated somehow for the second time. The only players who will be getting paid from winning teams are the players who are signed during the finals. Only members who are on the team at the conclusion of the season will receive their payment. If you were removed from a team for whatever reason mid-season, Robux earnings are lost and transferred to the person who replaces you. Our system here at ITL is 55, 30, 15. This means the first place team will receive 55% of the total prize pool, which is 16.5 thousand here. Second place receives 30%, which here is 9,000. And third place receives 15, which here is 4,500. This prize is tentative, and it may be increased if we can get some additional financial support. You are not required to split your team payment evenly, but splits must be approved by commissioners to avoid unfair payment. Blacklist removals will be allowed until the first signing deadline of Season 4, which is August 23rd. They will cost 1,000 Robux per user and must be approved by commissioners. No blacklist buyouts will be permitted after August 23rd. Team rebrands will be allowed until August 20th. The owner must provide the logo that they wish to use for the new team. Logo must be approved by Roblox. Color will stay the same, only name and logo will change. It will cost 400 Robux for a rebrand. The league will provide the team's new official jerseys. Owners must provide anything else that they deem necessary. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that this solved any problems and answered any questions you may have had. We welcome everyone to ITL and hope that this next season can run smoothly. If you have any questions, please DM me or Tsunami on Discord, and we will be happy to answer any of your questions.